Thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Clark.
I'm Kim Christensen. Aurora police officer shot and killed a man tonight. That officer went to the hospital as well.
This happened at the parking spot off East 56 near the airport. And 9 News reporter Rachel Krause is there for us now. Rachel, Aurora's police chief did not offer many details about what happened.
Yeah, guys, we're still working to learn what exactly led up to this shooting, but police say this all started when an employee here at the parking spot called 911 to report a suspicious person in the lot. According to police, the caller told them that the man was trespassing, appeared to be mentally unwell or under the influence, and was trying to get into cars parked here. An officer arrived around 2 hours after that call came in, and police say the man didn't listen to his directions. Aurora Police Chief Todd Chamberlain says it appears the officer tased the man, but it didn't seem to stop him. At some point, the officer was pulled down to the ground and some equipment on the officer's belt was removed and scattered. Police say the officer was able to get up, get the man off him, and then the officer shot and killed him. The officer was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The officer did have a body-worn camera on and activated during the shooting. Chief Chamberlain says that, along with parking lot surveillance video, should help to shed light on what happened here.
And I think what's really important is not only the event, but how these events are scrutinized. We really want to have transparency. We want to have community faith in what we do and how we do it. We want to make sure that we're factual, and all of that information is what's going to be gathered through the CERT team.
As for whether or not this man had a weapon, Chief Chamberlain didn't clarify. APD says the officer who fired his gun has been with the department for 4 years. Reporting live in Aurora, Rachel Krause, 9 News.
It may not always feel like it considering all the news coverage we see about crime, but new numbers confirm what police have been saying for a long time. Homicides and robberies in Denver and Aurora are down significantly so far this year. That's continuing a years-long trend. Numbers compiled by the Major Cities Chiefs Association show in Denver, homicides are down 58% through the first 3 months of the year. That's compared to the same time in 2024. Denver has seen 10 homicides so far this year, 24 last year. Similar story in Aurora. Homicides are down from 11 to 7. A 36% drop, though, through the first quarter of the year. Yet perception doesn't always match reality.
Homicides are down over 40%. Non-fatal shootings are down over the last couple of years, double digits. But you might not necessarily feel safe as you're living in Denver.
Police acknowledge that increasing the perception of safety with more officers and more patrols is important to making people feel safe, even if the actual crime numbers are already down.
Sure felt like summer in Colorado today. There are a couple people out in the sun at Cherry Creek Reservoir. In the next few days, they're going to feel more like late July, Kathy, than mid-May.
A complete pattern flip from this time last week when we were enjoying that 3-day cold weather rain and snow event that brought a month's worth of rain in 72 hours. Now we're talking about record high temperatures this week, close to 90 in May. It's a little soon for that. Outside, we've got fair skies and light winds, and you can't see it on this camera anymore, but there's a big full moon rising over the city tonight. Temperatures are comfortable, still in the 60s and 70s for Denver, the Front Range, and Eastern Plains. The wind, I've been watching that pretty closely because I'm worried about elevated fire danger with the warm, dry weather trend that we have as high pressure stays in place over Colorado, blocking 2 incoming storm systems, one to the north and one to the south of us. And so other than just a few high clouds coming in tonight and tomorrow, we don't have a lot of water coming in terms of showers or thunderstorms to cool us in the afternoon. Next few hours, temperatures will drop into the 50s with a few high clouds about in the weather headlines. After a mild, dry evening, we do have the chance for a few storms midweek, but also a chance for record highs. Details with the timing and impact of all of it just ahead.
The city of Denver is moving forward with a plan to spend $70 million on a stadium for the city's new women's soccer team.
9 News reporter Spencer Soisher is joining us from the City and County building. And Spencer, this isn't a done deal just yet.
No, the agreement is that the city buys the land and then the ownership group will pay and build the stadium. Tonight's deal lays the framework for this plan, but it's not quite a done deal yet. The city's not on the hook for the money yet.
11 ayes, Council Bill 0555 has passed.
Denver's women's soccer team already has supporters, even though it doesn't have a name or a stadium yet.
I'll be willing to vote yes tonight.
Denver City Council members cleared the first hurdle for a plan to build a new soccer stadium at I-25 and Broadway. The city plans to spend $70 million to buy the land.
I think people often don't realize how incredibly constricted Denver's municipal budget is overall.
Some city council members are hesitant about how much taxpayers would pay for the project.
I want to see women invested in as athletes, but my job here is to really dig in and ask whose money should be spent to build something that at the end of the day will be a privately owned stadium.
There's already a dedicated soccer stadium just 13 miles away in Commerce City. We asked Mayor Mike Johnston why this team can't play at Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
Great question. I think for a couple of reasons. Obviously, that's not in the city and county of Denver, that initial site. And I think what the team was looking for and what we're looking for is to do stadiums very differently. We are not looking to do stadiums with 50 acres of parking lots around them and nothing else. What we're looking to do are stadiums that are built into neighborhoods.
For now, it's a yes on the stadium. The council still has a chance to vote no at the next hurdle.
While we build parks, we don't always ask, what is the return on investment of a park? What is the return on investment in a library? We understand that there's value in building community.
The head of the ownership group said in a committee hearing a few weeks ago that the ownership group would pull out if they didn't get a stadium built. The mayor said his conversations with the group were more about where the stadium would be built. Live in Denver, Spencer Soysher, 9 News.
The city is also moving forward with the deal to turn the old Park Hill golf course into a city park. Tonight, the city council unanimously approved a deal to acquire the property in exchange for land near the airport. The golf course closed in 2018. 5 years later, Denver voters rejected a ballot measure that would have allowed the land to be developed. Under this new plan, the 155-acre site would be managed as open space, opening by the end of summer with some low-cost amenities while a long-term vision is developed. There will be a public hearing and a final vote on a proposal to rezone the land next month. If all goes as planned, Park Hill will become the city's 4th largest park, behind City Park, Sloan's Lake, and Washington Park.
The city of Mansa Springs does not have enough clean water, so the city wants everybody who lives or has a business there to only use water for drinking. The city's primary water supply comes from a creek near Pikes Peak. That got several feet of snow in last week's storm. It's much warmer now. That's caused an increase in runoff into the watershed. A bunch of that brings down sediment and such. It's clouded up the water entering the city's treatment plant. Typically, in a situation like that, the city would just go to the backup water source, but that pipeline is out of service due to emergency repairs for leaks. So the city's mayor is asking people to get creative.
Once upon a time, I got water from my brother who lives in Colorado Springs and trucked it over here. That was for cooking supplies.
The city did not give a timeline for when people will be allowed to use the water for anything other than drinking again.
The city of Pueblo could follow in Denver's footsteps and ban soft drinks in kids' meals. Tonight, health officials in Pueblo County urged the city to implement a plan called Healthy Drinks in Kids' Meals. It would require restaurants within city limits to only allow milk, water, or another healthy alternative on children's menus rather than soda or sugary drinks. This is all meant to make a dent in our country's obesity epidemic by encouraging better choices in places where healthier options aren't always the go-to.
We're able to measure 70.3% of our children in Pueblo consume at least one sugary beverage per day.
Pueblo City Council just heard arguments for the program tonight. It's not clear if or when they'll move forward with it. Denver will start enforcing its ban at the start of July. The Rockies are on track for their third 100-loss season in a row.
Team fired manager Bud Black yesterday. So the Rockies traditionally draw some of the best attendance numbers in Major League Baseball, even while fielding one of the worst teams. However, looking ahead at the Memorial Day weekend schedule, New York Yankees are in town, and there still are a lot of unsold tickets for all 3 games that weekend.
If you go Yankee series and it's 25,000 times 3 instead of 48, that's a huge hit, and you would hope it would cause an epiphany.
Usually being the worst team in MLB gets you the best drafting position for the following year. But because of anti-tanking rules, if you have a top 6 pick 2 years in a row, the next year you cannot pick higher than 10th. So even with the Rockies on track for the second worst record in baseball history, they'd be limited.